Origin just wants to reaction. This is anti-tank Nerf football grenade. Yes, it's real, but it's not the fat version. It still looked like a football. Okay, when I saw the weird grenades from Fallout game, like there was a baseball grenade that looks like baseball, right? And there was a nuke basically. I'm like, come on, like it's fun, but you're going crazy. Of course, America. Of course, they're gonna like, oh, we can do it. So it literally looks like a football. And it's an anti-tank. So I'm guessing you could just throw it at a tank, which is like, okay, implying your throwing ability is like that good that you can throw it at a tank and run away just enough so tank gets destroyed. Anything anti-tank, especially when it comes to explosives, is gonna be like powerful enough. Like if you're close, you're gonna get damaged. So basically, US military decided like, oh, I'm gonna train some of my people to throw it a long distance because football is a big thing in America. What kind of American doesn't know how to throw a football? So that's what basically this is. It's gonna be interesting. I like Federation basically. It covers weird topics like this. I've been watching a lot. I've been reacting 3-4 years now. I've been reacting to a lot of different type of videos from history and God knows what, right? And yet somehow I've always find a Federation video and title which is like, what the fuck? How is that real? Because I never heard anything even come close to this, right? This feels video game level of shit. But yeah, that's what this one.
By popular demand after this image went viral on the internet last week, today we're talking about anti-tank Nerf football grenades.
It's Nerf or nothing.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Fulda Gap. It is a series of lowlands between East and West Germany, and throughout the duration of the Cold War, it was thought to be the most likely site of a Soviet invasion. The reason for that being because it was one of the only geographic locations that would allow the Soviets to drive their tanks from their territory into West Germany. And if you don't know, this was especially concerning because the Soviets had a fuck ton of tanks. I mean, if the Soviets are world-renowned for anything, it's tanks, caloric deficits, and silver medals. Whether that be in the space race or the hockey Olympics just depends on the year.
This is your time!
What I'm trying to tell you is that America really wanted to be able to stop all the Soviet tanks in their tracks in the Fulda Gap before they could invade the rest of NATO. And because of this, America invented some of the most ridiculous weapons of—
I like how basically he somehow praised Soviets for having a lot of tanks, but at the same time he had to have a jab like caloric deficit. Like, okay, I didn't know Soviets was known for that, but yeah, there you go. Obviously communism, starving, that's what is implying. But yeah, when this video is like a year ago, obviously like after the current events, so I'm surprised he didn't take a jab at like what is the condition of those tanks or something, but there you go.
Of all time, including but not limited to such timeless unhealthcare classics as the A-10 Warthog, the Davy Crockett, aka the Nuclear Bazooka, Atomic Annie, aka Nuclear Artillery, and yes, anti-tank Nerf football grenades. So
yeah, the condensator, Soviet also had that, similar to that one, right? But yeah, the difference between Davy Crockett and the artillery one, the artillery one feels like a fucking big ass proper nuke, right? Well, Davy Crockett can't have that kind of a nuke. Otherwise, the one who's launching it, I mean, anybody who's played Fallout knows like what a fat boy can do if you like fuck it up. So that's like in real life. So yeah, it's not gonna have that level of yield. But yeah, that like artillery is like, whoa, that is insane. The level of power that yields, right? Imagine you like, look, using nukes is already like okay, but it's like an event, right? Oh, we are gonna launch a nuke. President has approved. A plane's gonna go by. Something's gonna get nuked. That's an event. But when you're on the war field, like battlefield, shit is happening. You're a commander. You're a sergeant. You have to use certain things. I have an artillery. What it is? It's a nuke. Firing the nuke while in the battlefield, while strategizing, seeing everything just light up. Holy shit, the level of power that gives you, right? Automatically testosterone would go up just seeing that. Because that clip was insane. Like everything light up because it's a nuke. First thing is like blinding light. So every time you see this, like, oh, there's a power of God right there.
Here's what we know. This Grunts and Crafts project was an experiment in 1973, and it's exactly what it looks like. They basically took an anti-tank type mortar known as a Monroe charge, stuck it inside of a Nerf football, the idea being troops can throw it at tanks. The project, however, ended up failing because apparently you can't throw a spiral with a football when it's not hollow, or at least made out of foam. But that isn't what's important here. What's important is the fact that simply looking at this thing, you can tell it's American. Like, the only way that
I like how they just went all ape shit over technology. Basically, oh, we're gonna put explosive in this one. We're gonna build this. Like, people are actual proper explosive experts are gonna build this, and not a single one like basically asked a physicist. Wait a minute, can you do that? No, you can't. Right? That's not how this works. You can't just throw it like this. Football is different from that. It's a hollow. You can't do this. If they had asked one physicist, the project wouldn't have even started. But okay.
this picture gets more American is if that thing had gun rights and a side of bacon. I mean, first of all, it's a football. That's a dead giveaway right there. And it's also actually pretty genius because then only Americans are gonna know how to throw it and kick it. And if any non-American ever touches it, I'm pretty sure they're legally obligated to bitch about how much football sucks and how much better soccer is for 15 minutes. Sorry, football. If I wanted to watch somebody not score all night, I'd put a mirror above my bed. Unpopular opinion, soccer's just a track meet with no lanes. But that's not the only reason that you can tell that.
Yeah, soccer is literally the largest sport on the planet. It's like, who's the two most famous people on the planet? Look at your Instagram. It's Ronaldo and Messi. There's a reason behind it. It's like, yeah. American football is like short, sweet, intense. But when it comes to sports and strategy and like, there's a reason why soccer is one of the deadliest sport ever. Like, people don't realize like, okay, why one of the deadliest sport you'll ever think of is soccer, which will surprise people. But it's not surprising. Look at how much element this goes into it, right? American football is really intense. It's fun, but it's like, you know, like, I don't know how to say this, like one short, sweet, intense thing. Of course, it's, you know, dangerous because of brain damage. And also the whole thing about NFL and everything. But somehow soccer is more deadly because it's like bigger field, bigger thing going around. So yeah.
This is violently American. You can also tell because it follows the unique design cues of how America develops weapons. And what I mean by that is, typically speaking, when governments and militaries design weapons, they design a deadly weapon and then they teach their troops how to use it. America, on the other hand, has a tendency to do the exact opposite. And what I mean by that is Uncle Sam will look at America's youth and figure out what their unique skills are and then turn that into a weapon. For example, in the 1930s and 40s, the most popular game in America was baseball. So a lot of kids could throw a baseball pretty well. How do you weaponize that? That's simple. You make a baseball blow the fuck up. I present to you the Beano T-13 grenade. It is the exact dimensions and weight of...
Look at this shit. I was just talking about Fallout and baseball. Obviously, in Fallout, it looks like a baseball that is explosive in it. It's like makeshift type of way. But this is also, look at that. All they had to do is like painted baseball. And there you go.
A baseball. And while that particular variant of the grenade didn't pan out, you can tell where America's current frag grenade got its design cues from. So then in the late 60s and early 70s, when football was becoming extremely popular in America, they just took a
Nobody throws grenade like baseball. Like, could you imagine just like chuck it in and fuck it, yeet at them? No, there's an arch and there's like a technique to it and everything. And even then people fuck up and like, all you've seen all those like training videos, like somebody fucks up and they just suddenly like jump into a hole, like, oh my god. Obviously frag grenades is frag, so basically it would just like shrapnel will be all around. If you're in the hole, you're gonna be fine, I'm guessing. How many type of grenade? I'm guessing shrapnel is the most famous one, the most used one, right? I'm guessing there are explosive one as well who just explodes.
foam football and made an even bigger grenade because America's youth was uniquely good at throwing that particular ball. Buh, this is so dumb. You're trying to play it off like America's the only people that know how to throw something. Buh. I mean, I wouldn't limit it to just America. I would say probably all the countries in NATO are better on average at throwing stuff. I mean, have you ever seen a communist try to throw a grenade? Don't worry, I brought a video. Yeah, they literally have to train on what to do after they fuck up throwing a grenade. And I can give you plenty of different examples that aren't about throwing balls. For example, you throw a baseball and you throw a football, but you don't throw a basketball, you shoot a basketball. So when Uncle Sam makes an explosive basketball, obviously you're gonna shoot that too. Ladies and gentlemen, the rifleman's assault weapon, aka the RAW. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that the youth of America and America's allies today have a significant advantage over the rest of the world when it comes to playing video games. I mean, for example, China pretty much outlawed all video games in 2000, meaning that America and American allies have a distinct advantage at playing video games, which I'll admit seems fucking stupid till you realize that we have Predator drones In conclusion, the point I think I'm trying to get across here is while the anti-tank Nerf football grenade was a complete and utter failure, it is still a great example of the weird way that America develops weapons, as well as how utterly ridiculous the weapons during the Cold War got. If you made it this far down this weird abstract rabbit hole of a history lesson, thank you for watching. The best way to support the channel is go buy some merch at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang out.
Yeah, nothing this time. But yeah. One thing, like I've said in the past, one thing I've noticed, like America is like, you walk into Pentagon or whatever, right, where you like pitch ideas or whatever. Will it work? Yeah, then fuck it. I don't care. I don't care how stupid. If it works, is it really stupid? Just do it. Oh, can we make a football grenade? Can it destroy tanks? Maybe. Try it. Baseball, yeah, okay, we throw baseball. There you go. Right? I mean, if America was big in soccer, which is like kind of is getting like soccer is becoming a football is becoming like a like really famous thing in America, right? Slowly it's getting better. Now Messi is there. It's like okay, it's even getting more like MLS is getting better and better. Maybe one day they'll make a like a grenade that you can kick. I guess I don't know what the fuck. But then again, you also kick football in like American football for whatever is it penalties? I don't even know what that is. But yeah. Oh, that was at least they didn't make it into a nuke, right? At least like they didn't go over how the Fallout concept is. Even in the Fallout, right? You wait a minute, no, there is a nuke. There's a new grenade. I forgot. No, let it go. Yeah, at least they didn't do that. Alright, well, if you like my content, don't forget to subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you next time.